this is going to be a weirder video, very niche. You know how they have the feels like temperature often displayed on different apps, like, oh, this is what the temperature feels like today. Well, this is the formula that governs that. You can see it takes, it's based on humidity. Obviously, the more humid, the hotter it feels. And the higher the temperature, the hotter it feels. Nothing surprising there. And I am surprised that they just give you the formula of what they use. It does result in a couple of weird things. Like, so this is the same, this formula is already entered in this calculator, so you can just test it. I have also done a 3D plot of it, which I'm going to try and use for later purposes. But for now, this gives you a good idea that you can see in like the 60s. This is all Fahrenheit, by the way, because most of my viewers are American, so figured. You can see during this band, it's really weird, but so Y is the humidity, X is the temperature, Z is what it feels like. And it looks ridiculous that it shoots up really high here, but that's literally what their own calculator says. So don't blame me for that. That's what their math says. That's them. Anyway, if you look at this band right in here, the R value has like very little impact, or the relative humidity, not the R value, has very little impact on the feels like temperature. Versus once you start getting out of that range, it kind of really shoots up. And this is weird too. Okay, according to them, if it is 20 degrees Fahrenheit out at 1% humidity, which it's usually not very humid out, oh, it'll actually feel like 100 in there. I feel like their equation doesn't actually work. I mean, I get it. They just kind of made it up, I believe, but still, that whole feels like temperature, you can see how kind of BS it is when you plot it like this, and you see that all the edge cases are just nutty and don't make any sense. I think they use a different like wind chill based one for winter, because they ain't using this. That'd be really wrong. Hey guys, it feels like it's 300 out, but it's 0. Yeah, I'm not buying their equation there. So if you just heat up air, the relative humidity goes down because it can hold more moisture. So my idea was I was going to try and plot this and then convert the relative humidity so that I could enter in different absolute humidities and see if there's ever a spot where by entering in or by increasing the temperature of an air, you could feel cooler. That was the idea behind it. However, given that I just don't believe that their equation is meaningful, oops, wrong spot. And humidity. Yeah, okay, so at least they acknowledge that you can't use it. So given that this equation and all that is mostly BS, I'm not going to make that video. It just doesn't make sense to do. Because I was going to try and test to see if there was a band of temperatures where by just strictly heating up air, it would feel colder just due to the decrease in humidity. But it doesn't make sense to do. I mean, they're too limited in where their BS equation actually works.